I've heard some of the most astounding comments in institutes of high learning. Since this is being live streamed, I'll be a little kind about the location. But I remember at one university, my colleagues were there, and one guy stands up, goes to the microphone, and he says, "How do I know that I exist?" I suppose he's paying his fees. I suppose he knew he walked in. How do I know that I exist? What do you say? Without taking too much of time. And possibly a pinprick. But I didn't do that. I just looked at him and I said, "May I tell you what Professor Nathan said to one of his students who stood up and said, 'How do I know that I exist?' He lowered his glass and looked at him and said, 'And who, shall I say, is asking?'" At another university, this girl goes up to the microphone, cups her hand. They don't even wait for the ground rules sometimes. No, we're not masochists, but we do this kind of work. So she goes up, cups her hands, and says, "You've talked today about culture seeking coherence? Who in the world told you culture needed to be coherent? Where did you get this from? Is this not another Western idea being foisted upon us?" I didn't look Western. I don't think I acted Western. But anyway, that was her question. Is this a Western idea that's foisted upon us that culture needed to be coherent? So I let her talk. I've learned if you allow anybody to talk long enough, they actually end up convicting themselves. So I just let her talk for a little while. So I finally said, "Ma'am, I'll be very happy to answer your question if you will just answer mine, and then I'll proceed with my response to you. When I'm answering you, do you want my answer to be coherent, or may I be incoherent in responding to you?" And the whole audience just burst out in applause, and I said, No. Please don't laugh. I want you to answer my question. Do you want me to be coherent, or may I be incoherent? She walked away. You see, we hold counter perspectives to the test of reason, but very seldom do we test our own, whether we are being rational and reasonable.